If you're over 60 and waking up tired, sluggish, or relying on coffee or pills to get the job done, your prostate might already be trying to send you a warning, and most men are ignoring it. Here's the surprising truth. Men lose about 1% of their testosterone every single year after the age of 30. By the time you hit 60, you're operating with nearly a third of your fuel tank missing. But what if there was one daily trick that could actually flip this trend around? Better energy, better performance, better mornings. What if I told you that your first 60 seconds after waking up could determine whether you stay strong or slowly fade? And here's the wildest part. It's not a supplement. It's not an exercise. It's not some exotic herb from a jungle. But we'll get to that. Because right now, the clock is ticking and most men have no idea just how steep the cliff really is. After 60, your body isn't kind of changing, it's shifting fast. Testosterone continues to drain. Metabolism slows to a crawl. Even your prostate, the powerhouse of male performance, is quietly changing in ways that most men won't notice until it's too late. You suddenly need the bathroom more at night. Your energy disappears by mid-afternoon. And yes, performance in the bedroom, it becomes frustrating, if not embarrassing. And let's talk about the real cost. You stop doing the things you love. You say no to golf with the guys. No to chasing the grandkids around. Heck, you even start feeling like a stranger in your own skin. But what if all of that could begin to shift? With just 60 seconds a day? And no, it's not tech or therapy or yet another bottle in your cabinet. You're about to discover something completely different. Most men are told their only option is testosterone replacement therapy. Injections, gels, prescriptions. But a small group of doctors, including one retired urologist, discovered something completely shocking. There's one daily behavior that nearly every man can do right now to begin reawakening their hormonal balance. It's free, it's fast, and yes, nearly every patient they've tested saw benefits within weeks. Sounds too good to be true? Understandable. But buckle up, because before we share the secret, there's something crucial you need to understand. Your body already wants to recover. It's screaming for it. But you might be accidentally blocking it every single morning. Let me show you how. First, sleep. You might think 5-6 hours is good enough. It's not. Studies show just 1 week of poor sleep can drop testosterone by 10 to 15%. That's the difference between a man in his 50s and one in his 70s. One study followed healthy men who got less than 5 hours of sleep per night. Their testosterone levels plummeted to match someone nearly a decade older. And energy? In the gutter. So here's your first action step. Protect your nights. Blackout curtains. No screens at least 90 minutes before bed. Keep the room cool. 65 degrees is ideal. That alone sets the stage. But here's the kicker. Even perfect sleep won't matter if you do this first thing in the morning. Right now, millions of men over 60 start their day the same way. Scroll the phone, check the news, sip coffee, sink into stress, and unknowingly flood their body with cortisol, the stress hormone that wrecks testosterone, memory, and libido. The fix? It starts with light. Within 10 minutes of waking, step outside, just for 2 minutes. When natural light hits your eyes, it tells your brain, wake up. Set hormones. Dopamine rises. Cortisol balances. Prostate inflammation lowers. It's that powerful. This isn't woo-woo. It's biology. But don't stop there, because the real trick still isn't here. But we're getting closer. Have you ever wondered why you feel bloated some mornings? Or why your joints ache even if you didn't do anything physical? It could be something no one talks clearly about: low-grade inflammation. The modern male diet is full of what we call soft poisons. Foods that seem healthy: whole wheat toast, egg whites, dairy, even some sugar-free options actually trigger an immune response in many men over 60. You don't feel it right away, but over time, fat builds around the belly, libido slows, and you just feel heavy. One retired firefighter we interviewed, age 67, told me, "I thought it was age. Turned out it was my breakfast." Now, there's a simple way to reduce this fasting inflammation. Just mix warm water, half a lemon, and a pinch of turmeric first thing in the morning. It hydrates, detoxifies, and supports hormone production. But that's still just a primer. Wait until you hear about the flow test a 78-year-old man failed and how one change flipped his performance in 3 days. Here's what happened. He said, "Doc, everything was fine." Until it wasn't. He couldn't maintain flow during urination. Not pain, not blockage, just weakness. The clue? A forgotten muscle group that controls a lot more than you'd guess. The pelvic floor. Think of it like a hammock at the base of your core. If it's weak, you lose control. Blood flow drops. Performance suffers. Urologists are now calling pelvic floor strength the #1 overlooked factor for vitality in men over 60. Here's the test. Next time you pee, try stopping the stream halfway. Can't do it? That's weakness. The fix? Just do 3 sets of 10 quick floor squeezes right after brushing your teeth. It's discreet. It's simple. And in the case of that 78-year-old man, he said, just doing those for a week brought things back online. But get this. The real unlock came when he combined it with one strange morning behavior, one I'll share in the next video. Let's keep going. Everyone says coffee wakes them up. But here's the truth. For men over 60, coffee can act like a double-edged sword. Yes, it boosts alertness, but it also floods cortisol, disrupts insulin, and eventually burns out your energy reserves when you need them most. If you truly want the performance edge, try this switch. Before reaching for the mug, finish your warm shower with 45 seconds of cold water. Cold exposure releases norepinephrine, lowers blood pressure, boosts blood flow, including to areas that matter most. One man told me the first 10 seconds were misery. By day 5, I felt superhuman. These tricks stack, but none compare to what's coming. Because there's one 30-second ritual that a retired urologist now prescribes to every man who walks into his office. And at first, they look at him like he's crazy. Stand in front of a mirror? Naked? But then they do it. And everything changes. We'll reveal exactly how, what it is, and why it's lighting up private male health forums with stories of reverse decline, renewed energy, and even improved intimacy. Because what you're about to discover is simple, weirdly powerful, and probably the last thing anyone's told you to do. But first, if even one of these insights hit home for you, make a promise to yourself that you won't just watch, you'll try. Comment below, what are you going to start tomorrow morning? Because you're not done yet. You're about to learn the strangest, most unexpected 30-second ritual that's silently transforming the lives of men over 60. But before we get to that, let's rewind for just a second. Because if you're here watching this, it means something struck a chord. Maybe it was the morning fatigue, or the extra bathroom trips. Maybe it was that moment when you looked in the mirror and said, "This isn't me anymore. I used to feel strong." Whatever brought you here, I want you to know something. You're not broken. You're not past your prime. And no, you're not alone. One retired Navy officer told me recently, I served 4 tours overseas, and not one of them scared me as much as waking up one day and realizing my body was slipping away. And he's not being dramatic. Because when you feel energy draining, performance fading, motivation slipping, it's more than physical. It's emotional. It affects your drive, your relationships, your very sense of identity. But what if just for a moment you could flip the script? Imagine waking up and feeling awake, clear-headed, in control, not reaching for the coffee, not reaching for pain pills, but instead feeling like you've tapped into a version of yourself you feared was long gone. Because here's the truth. Men in their 60s, 70s, even 80s are reporting massive breakthroughs using a simple 30-second tool. One that rewires your focus, adjusts your hormones, and kickstarts everything from prostate health to power in the bedroom. But wait, that's not the whole story. Because what they do and how they do it is the part no one expects. Let me tell you about Carl. Carl's 72, a retired auto mechanic from Ohio. He said he started to feel invisible, his words, not mine. I wasn't depressed. I was just bored, tired all the time. I just felt done. One morning, he stumbled on a blog that mentioned this habit. Laughed at first. Said, there's no way that's going to do anything. But out of curiosity or maybe desperation, he gave it a shot. The next week, he called his son for the first time in a month. Walked the dog twice as far. Slept through the night for the first time in years. He said it was like someone turned the lights back on. So, what in the world did Carl do? Here it is. Every morning, within the first 60 seconds of waking up, he stands in front of the mirror, completely bare, shoulders back, chest out, and he asks one question out loud: who am I choosing to be today? That's it. But hang on, because this isn't just some woo-woo self-help nonsense. This ritual taps into something primal, something biological. See, when you wake up and immediately face yourself, literally you interrupt a common trap most older men fall into: reaction mode. Scrolling, complaining, diagnosing, waiting. But this tiny ritual flips the switch. It puts you in charge. It tells your brain, your hormones, your nervous system: we're not victims today. We're in control. Remember how we talked about that stress hormone cortisol? This 30-second mirror step counters it. How? By activating intention, shifting posture, and stimulating a surge in testosterone-related pathways. Sounds crazy, but the results speak for themselves. One man told us after I started doing this, I stood taller. I smiled more. I drank less. My wife noticed before I even told her why. Another wrote in, it was like my confidence came back before my energy did. And once confidence returned, the rest followed. Think about that. What else in your life has given you 10%, 20%, even 30% improvement in 30 seconds? And listen, I get it. At first glance, it might feel ridiculous, strange even. But here's the wild thing. That's why it works. Because it's unfamiliar. Because it snaps you out of autopilot. Because it reminds every cell in your body that you are here, awake and alive. And when you combine this with what you've already learned: sleep, sunlight, hydration, pelvic floor strengthening, cold showers, your body responds fast. But we're still not done. Because what Carl and hundreds of other men discovered next takes this mirror trick from interesting to revolutionary. It involves one extra sentence. 7 words. When Carl added this line, things really took off. Ready for it? Here it is. I lead my body. It follows me. He didn't just ask a question anymore. He declared leadership. Because let's face it, no one's coming to fix this for us. No doctor, no pill, no perfect diet. Real change for men over 60 starts in the mirror. Not the gym, not the pharmacy, not even the kitchen. The mirror. And here's the kicker, they've even tested this on men with low testosterone, mild erectile dysfunction, poor energy levels. Not all of them fixed every problem, but not a single one got worse. Many improved, drastically. And the only change? This 30-second mirror ritual. Now, if you've been watching and thinking, I want to try something, but I just don't know where to start here. Tomorrow morning, no excuses. Stand up, shoulders wide. Breathe deep. Ask that question, who am I choosing to be today? And finish with your 7 words, I lead my body. It follows me. Simple? Yes. Silly? Maybe. But those 30 seconds might just become the most powerful habit of your life. Remember, this isn't about motivation. That fades. This is about reprogramming the signal your body receives every single day. So don't knock it till you try it. But if you're still feeling skeptical, good. Because the most shocking part? It's still ahead. In our next video, we'll share the morning movement sequence that combines perfectly with the mirror ritual, just 90 seconds of gentle activity that turbocharges blood flow, supports prostate health, and triggers internal testosterone responses without lifting a single dumbbell. One man called it yoga for guys who hate yoga and swears it's what gave him back everything he'd lost. You don't want to miss that. So do this now. Tap the like button if you're committed to trying the mirror ritual tomorrow morning. Drop a comment below with the words, I lead. And if someone you know, your brother, your friend, your golf buddy, is quietly suffering, send them this video. Maybe it's the day their lights turn back on too. Because guess what? You're not too old. You're not too late. And your next chapter? It's just 30 seconds away. We'll see you in the next video where we reveal the physical movement that completes the morning transformation. You won't believe how simple it is and how fast it works. Stay sharp, stay strong, and remember, the mirror never lies, but it also never judges.